Very good morning. I want to speak this morning about being captured, because it's now become something that I've been accused of, and it's quite sad. I met Roberto last week, and I posted a picture of myself and him, and then I made videos about our meeting thereafter. Roberto is third generation money in South Africa. He's an international businessman and is an investor with a particular focus on Africa, and I think fintech and edtech as much as possible. I don't know Rob from a bar of soap. Rob doesn't know me from a bar of soap. What happened is that I made a video about Rob's speech regarding how he thinks South Africa's economy can be improved, especially so that we can attract foreign direct investment and get a lot of wealthy South Africans to come back to South Africa and invest. I made a video, it went viral. Morena Mashile posted it on his Facebook page. I think it's probably sitting on 80,000 views now. And it happened to get to Rob's desk. Rob, through his people, managed to get a hold of me. He extended a hand and he asked if we could meet. And we met. We had a very, very great, stimulating conversation for about an hour. Took a photo, posted it online. And then I got attacked and I got accused of being captured and of being a sellout. It's been an interesting thing and I've tried to brush it off, but I wanted to make this video because I'm very big on giving my thoughts, my honest thoughts on how the world works and how my brain works. The first thing that upset me, or the first thing that I noticed rather, maybe not upset me, but that I noticed was Roberto is really, really powerful in people's minds. What does that mean? It means if I take a photo with Rob, it means by default a lot of people already assume that this man has some kind of power over me. That is a powerful concept. And what it tells me is that Rob has power over you. It means that if you took a photo with him, if you had a meal with him, that he would easily influence your mind. My mind doesn't work like that. Number two, a lot of people that don't really know me accuse me of being captured and selling out. Captured by who and selling out of what? You're a stranger to me. You've never given me a single rand. You've never supported any of the initiatives that I've got. You've never shared any of my ideology. You claim you're black conscious. You claim you're a Pan-Africanist, but you're not helping people to build businesses. You're not donating to charity. You're not educating your brothers and sisters to become better citizens of this country and of the world. And here you are accusing me because I made a video. I made a video that someone liked and someone wanted to meet with me. And now that's bugging you. I don't know if that means you're jealous or if it means you're so weak of mind that you think someone can just own my mind over one sitting, one meal, one drink. It also made me realize that people don't respect me. I've been making videos for a while now, but a lot of my thoughts. I've written over 14 books. I've made over 50 artworks. I've shared my posts on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. I've even been on TV doing interviews to share my thoughts about how I think this country could be run better. And after one meeting and one picture, you're convinced that I've got such a tiny brain that another human being that I don't know from a bar of soap can influence me and then tell me how to now change my entire life for him. It shows you that you have no respect for me and you have no respect for my mind and what I'm trying to do. And that's very upsetting for me, at the very least. I was extremely disappointed by people that know me personally, because it means after everything I've said over the years, after my thoughts on black consciousness, on being pro-black, after I set up the Buy Black movement, of which we've got a website, www.buyblack.org.za, after I've done countless charity work with Touch Rugby Sundays, with the Mamsi Foundation, in my own accord and with other charitable organizations, after I've spoken on different platforms, after you've sat with me, after you've seen some of the businesses that I've run, you've seen me invest in small businesses and lose money. You've seen me loan out money to people and lose money. You've seen me owe over R1 million to investors, which I still owe to this day. You've seen me go through all of that slog. And you think after I meet one man that we all don't really know, and you know me personally and you think now I've changed, or I can hear you sound different, that means you don't see me. You claim to know me, but you don't know me. And it means you really disrespect me and you don't see me. And that was quite disappointing and quite hurtful for me. Trevor Noah has done a lot of really great work across the world. He's done stand-up comedy. He's made people laugh. He's made people think. He's criticized Jacob Zuma, Julius Malema, Donald Trump, so many politicians, and he's given his views on language, on human civilization, on relationships. And he's done it in a humorous way where we laugh and we learn. Dave Chappelle has done a great job of making more people very conscious, politically, socially, and cracking jokes. I think Chris Rock also comes to mind as a very conscious comedian. Trevor Noah has done great work on the continent. He's worked with Charlize Theron to do charity work. And then he went and he hosted Global Citizens, being one. And then number two, he hosted a charity tennis match with, I think, Rafael Nadal and Bill Gates, I think in Cape Town. I think it could have been in Cape Town. And now he works with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and he's trying to see how he can add value. Obviously, he's become a big star on The Daily Show in America. Now, because he's working with Bill Gates and people don't like Bill Gates, and whatever his agenda is with making sure that people are immunized around the world, and his story around COVID in particular, now Trevor Noah's captured. Which means all the work that Trevor's done doesn't mean shit. It means whatever mindset Trevor has, it doesn't mean shit. Now you find a guy like Trevor. I'm Trevor Noah. I've traveled the world. I've tried to give back. I've paid tax. I've inspired people. I've created jobs. I now get invited by Bill Gates and he'd like to chat and hear what I have to say. He likes my mind. He likes my ideas. Okay, it's Bill Gates. I can't say no. He's a great guy. He's influential. He's incredibly wealthy. You sit with Bill, you sit with Melinda, and you listen to their ideas for the world. You listen to how he's built Microsoft. You listen to how many kids he's helped save lives in Africa, in India, and across the world in giving them immunizations they didn't have before. You listen to the businesses he's invested in, tech businesses, and also normal businesses, farms. You listen to small businesses he's given money to. The number of schools he's either built or he's invested in personally. All the charitable work he's done, traveling across the world, meeting with world leaders, trying to figure out how to make the world a better place because he's wealthy and because he's influential. And it's brilliant. It's created over hundreds of thousands, if not millions of jobs, indirectly invested in over millions of jobs, made sure that people have food, make sure that people have medication, make sure that people have education. And through a lot of these internet works, a lot of us now have access to information and education we never had before at our fingertips. You listen to that guy and you decide to do a charity tennis game with him. You decide to be involved in his huge NGO. And then random Penuel guy somewhere in South Africa is like, no, Trevor's been captured and is sold out. Who's Penuel? Some guy who's probably pirated my shit. Some guy who's never paid money to watch any of my concerts. Some guy who actually evades tax. He's never created jobs for anyone. He's never built a business for anyone. He's just out on Facebook and Twitter making a fucking lot of noise, claiming to be black conscious, but he's living in the suburbs. He's trying to live a white life. He's not willing to go to the villages. He's not willing to develop rural areas. He's not willing to create jobs. He complains about how his family always wants money from him. He complains about politicians, and he's not doing anything. Now I'm Trevor Noah. Bill Gates has extended a hand and resources, and he's willing to help me make South Africa and other places better. Should I work with Bill Gates, who's done great work? Should I work with Penuel, who's actually not doing anything? He's just out there fucking bashing me and calling me a sellout and that I've been captured. I really am always disappointed when I realize or I'm reminded how stupid human beings are. Human beings are stupid. And now obviously when I get attacked directly, I speak up because that's what I do. I'm pretty honest. Harshly so, brutally so. But it's because I want you guys to think. I don't think it's very difficult. I know a lot of you are like zombies and you're controlled by the schooling system and you're controlled by religious institutions and you're controlled by the media and you're controlled by celebrities, and you're controlled by social media platforms. I'm aware of this. You're zombies. And I'm trying to wake you up, and I know it's difficult. But I get disappointed when I speak so much and I try so hard to conscientize and awaken people. One meeting with one guy I don't barely know, and now I'm captured and I'm a sellout. And now all of a sudden I sound different. It says more about you than it does about me. It means you need to look into the mirror and figure out what's wrong with you and why your life is so miserable. And why you're not actually adding value and making the world a better place. And why you're not reaching out to people that are trying to make the world a better place and add value. Because that's what I'm trying to do. Very, very pro-black. I was very pro-male. It's got nothing to do with who I've met. Been consuming a lot of information on YouTube. Joe Rogan, Candace Owens, Ben Shapiro, listening to Trevor Noah, Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, listening to some of the minds in South Africa, especially on Twitter. I mean, you've got a new activist now in Amanda Black. You've got El Vovo, who's becoming loud on social media. You know, you've got Ntsiki Mazwai, who's been a very brave feminist, radical black feminist. You know, and so many other great minds in the world. Jordan Peterson, Sadhguru. Mac G's got a great podcast that's allowing people to speak. You know, got to enjoy listening to Zex Bantwini and his views. I've heard Black Coffee and some of his thoughts. You know, like, I'm listening to a lot of different people. And I listen to white people as well. Steve Hofmeyer. I've watched interviews by Eugene Terblanche. I've seen some of the documentaries on YouTube about poor white people in South Africa who feel that it's the ANC and BE and corruption that's made them poor. I've listened to black people blame apartheid and how white people oppress them. The world is not black and white, man. It's actually very, very gray and very dynamic. If we're going to blame all white people for apartheid, all white people, and we say they were complicit because they did nothing, then it almost makes sense why white people would blame all black people for any ANC corruption, any EFF corruption, and any looting that happens in government, in tenders. It makes sense. It means both groups are actually very, very ignorant and are not aware that there are good people and bad people in the world, and you need to figure out who they are. Nothing to do with race, nothing to do with gender, nothing to do with nationality or religion. But that requires you to have a brain, and it's very, very difficult for most people. So I just need you guys to wisen up. Rob has extended a hand to me. He's a wealthy guy. He doesn't need to because I'm a nobody. I'm not a politician. I'm not a big business person. I'm just myself, and I make noise and I talk and I think. And he said, look, if I can help you in any way, please let me know. Because I know you're trying to make the world better. You're trying to help the poor. You're trying to make sure that everyone works together and builds a really, really great South Africa, a great Africa and a great world. I'm willing to work with that guy. And if you out there being angry and bitter are willing to work with me, and you're willing to donate to some of the stuff that I do, and you're willing to come and volunteer, I'm willing to work. Let's become smart and add value to the world. Penuel the Black Pen, coming from very, very beautiful Durban this morning. Cheers. Love you guys very much. Let's do better. Let's all do better, including myself. Cheers.